What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. We'll look at Bitcoin on the Bitstamp chart. And frankly, what happened yesterday wasn't not expected. I was telling the people in the Discord we could expect that. We could expect a pump or a dump. We're being ready for both scenarios. We were ready for both scenarios, whether we're going to pump or dump. Now, looking at Bitcoin, this is a Gaussian channel. These lines that you see are just Fibonacci channels. I'm not going to talk about them at the moment. I could just take them off. But this is a Gaussian channel. And looking at Bitcoin's past performance, I've gone back and I've seen whenever Bitcoin breaks the red cloud, holds above enough of time, it will turn to green. Sometimes we may come. This wasn't something ordinary. This was a COVID crash. As long as you hold the green and you retest it, you will continue. Now, what Bitcoin is doing at the moment, we're bearishly retesting it. We're testing the red, getting rejected at the median line. You want Bitcoin to do something like this at the median line, to break out with significant volume, so it could push up. As you see over here, the volume was significant. We were pushing up, and now at the moment you are getting rejected. As this move up wasn't in so much volume compared to that move up. Now, what Bitcoin can do, it could come down. If Bitcoin comes down, where is it likely to go, and what are our next zones of support? I will be talking about that in a minute. This is Bitcoin on Binance. You have your EMAs as dynamic supports. You could look at them like you have the weekly chart. You have your 50 EMA that is at around 24,800 today. So that is your dynamic support. On the daily, your 50 is at around 23,800. So those two levels are important for me, 24,800 and 23,800. I wanted to show you some other levels that I have, but I need to go back because I had removed them to the chart for clarity, but I'll just bring them back. There are levels of interest and you should watch out for them. For starters, you need to be aware that you have a CME gap down at 20k. So as easy as it was to fill the CME gap at 28 to 29k, 27 to 28k, it's also easy to go down and fill the CME gap at 20k. We also have a CME gap up at around our 30k level. I'll show you that at the moment. We have a CME gap over here at 20k. We came down, we closed the CME gap that we had earlier on 20k, and we formed another one at 20k. We have another CME gap. We filled this yesterday. We have another CME gap that could take us all the way up to 35,200. Between 34,500 and 35,200 we have a CME gap. So any gap could be filled very easily. Now let's go back to the chart. Bitcoin over here. Looking at this, my supports at the moment, I have my fixed range volume profile. It's very useful to use it. It's an easy tool to use, and it's very useful for trading, especially when you're in a range. As you can see, we were at a range. We were in a range for a while between the value area high over here and the lower level of the range. You could say the value area low, 27,200 and 28,750. 27,200 and 28,200. $1,000 range, very nice. Could have shorted the highs, long the lows, shorted the highs, long the lows. Obviously, we came a bit lower over here. But yeah, yesterday we had a deviation from the range. We broke out of the value area high just earlier on, prior to Powell speaking, and we destroyed the range to the downside. We had a deviation to the downside as we did it to the upside, and we could possibly now range and go higher. But this move down is quite impulsive, and I feel it's not complete. We could have more legs to the downside for Bitcoin, and my levels to watch for is that value area high that I was value area low over here. If we lose it, then we're looking for lower 27,250. And on the daily, we have this fixed range volume profile. Over here, we have a POC of that range, but I would really be looking at this 23.8. So I have, if I lose the 27,200, I start look at the 25k zone, 25.2. If I lose that, I'm looking at 24.8 and then 23.8 zone. Just simple. That's the downside. To the upside, I had two levels. You could go up as high as 30,500. Now let's just pull a Fibonacci trend-based fib and see what extensions have we hit or extension that we can hit from the low over here. Well, we've gone all the way up to the 2.618 over here, you can see, and we've exceeded it. We came all the way to the 3 fib trend-based fib extension. Now this move up could be completed as a 5-wave move up. Otherwise, it may be coming lower. Now just pulling just a simple fib retracement, if you just want to look at this move up as a 5-wave move or as a wave 1 to the upside and expecting a 2, if you're so bullish, then your wave 2 can come as low as the 24,173, even as low as the 23,076. Those are the levels I'll be watching. Volume wise, we kind of had an increase in volume and then we had a decrease in volume, so it's not very helpful at the moment. Would like to look at the MACD indicator, which will show us our momentum. Are we going up in momentum? Oh, I had it on the screen already. Let me got that. Okay. Our MACD indicator on the daily is losing momentum. We see it losing momentum since the 20th of March. You see the shade of the bars are getting lighter and we're slightly curling downwards. We haven't done it yet. We can't confirm it. We could easily pivot to the upside. On the daily, on the weekly, it looks like we're just getting started with a push-up. Very nice green bars. But again, not confirmed yet. You need to see a confirmation first. 4-hourly MACD for the short term. Momentum to the downside is getting less. We might have a crossover. Hourly already had a crossover. So on the daily, your momentum is not showing much of strength. You are curving down. You could be doing the beginning of something like this and start moving down. And if you go on the chart, that was here. Yeah, over there. When you pull down back from 24,280 all the way to 21,360. So it could be a big drop, but it's not confirmed yet. We haven't crossed yet. All right, that's my update for Bitcoin. Nothing much to say. We had the move down, the move up. I am aiming for lower prices, but I am aware of the possibility of going higher. So position yourself accordingly, have your stops in place. More trades, I'm out.